Everybody, sit straight. Sit comfortably. Keep your spine erect. Eyes gently closed. Shift your eye gaze to the center of the eyebrows. The Jyotishmati, the light of awareness within. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. We'll begin today's session with an opening chant. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll also sing one of our YEC's prayer, Asatoma Sadgamaya. If you know, follow with me. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamayam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Wow, what a beautiful sight to see so many kids here. Welcome to the 10 YEC Youth Excellence Center. It almost reminds me of 2 years ago, right? Exactly 2 years ago, I'm with the same group of kids, and that we did a fantastic yoga camp back then. And I still have those pictures. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get started with simple introductions with who we are. And then we have some folks, who join virtually, people on the phone, if you can, when you're talking or as much as possible, open up your videos. And we'll quickly introduce ourselves. What I would like each one of us to do is focus on three things. One is introduce who you are. And number two is share a little bit about what does yoga mean for you? What does yoga mean for you? And the best part is every answer is a good answer. Every answer is a right answer. So share a little bit about what is yoga mean for you. And the third thing is, why are you here? What would you like to get in the 3 days that we're going to spend together? Right? So is that a deal? Okay. The best part is, we're going to start with learning some Italian. The deal in Italian, it means affare. So sometimes, we're going to make a lot of deals during the course of this 3 days camp. So we're going to make a lot of affares, right? Let's go down. So who's going to start with? Virinchi, you want to go with?
Sure. My name is Virinchi. I am from California. Basically, I think of meditation and yoga as a way to cope with stress. I mean, I'm 12th grade, so I have like college apps and other stuff to work on. And one thing I hope to learn is to learn how to effectively help myself reset and find a better way to cope with my stress. So.
Awesome. And Virinchi flew all the way from San Jose. And you look very tall, man. You're a good volleyball player, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you play for any teams?
Yeah, I play for club and I play for my school team. Yeah.
And I feel like you can teach all of us yoga. I can't believe that you have stress. Okay, good. Awesome. Pranav?
And I'm from Virginia. I'm currently a junior in college. I go to George Mason University. Honestly, through my dad, since he was part of these sessions once, I got to know this camp, and I was more than happy to join. As soon as I heard from Dad and hear about the essence of this camp.
So what does yoga mean for you?
Peace, relaxation, and overall starting fresh.
Awesome. And number one, Ramakant Garu and Savita Garu, are you able to hear?
Very clear.
Yeah, clear.
Love it. Love it. Now we're going to go with our musician.
Hi, my name is Sharian and I'm 10 years old. And
What does yoga mean for you?
what does yoga mean? Well, happiness and calm, because when I always do it, I always breathe in, breathe out, and exhale, and that helps me become calm.
Awesome. Awesome.
My name is Samhita.
Samhita.
Samhita, yeah. Yoga means to like come in peace with yourself. And I got to know about this camp from being in it like a while ago, and also from my mom.
Awesome. Awesome. Next time, what you can do is you can actually call one. You could actually say who you are by to one of the people on the virtually. So it's like, Ramakant Garu. I am Samhita. Right? Is that you want to try? Samskriti, you want to try? Pick one person virtually and then say who you are to them.
Savidanti, my name is Sanskriti. I'm 12 years old, and I think yoga for me is like Samhita said, finding peace within yourself and understanding what you could do.
Love it. Love it. I did not know that Savita Garu is auntie, but anyway, now I got that. Right. Good.
My name is Vedanshi. I'm a sophomore at Centennial. For me, yoga is kind of balance because you're focusing on something, but at the same time, you're relaxing.
Isn't it magical?
Yeah.
You can be relaxing and at the same time you can be doing this stuff. Okay.
My name is Shruti. I'm a sophomore in college, and yoga to me is about harmony and connecting your mind and your body.
Wow. That's awesome. You can be here. All of you can be here. Kiran?
Hello everyone, good morning. For me, I'm Kiran, and I work at one of the financial fintech companies in downtown Dallas. And yoga for me is really as Shruti saying, mind-body connection. And the way I would like to really get into this space is to make yoga your way of life, right? Meaning it's not just on or off mat, but your everyday life should reflect that you are kind of inculcating the values. That's where I go. It's more of a journey than anything else, right? That's my ongoing experience with yoga.
Awesome. Ramakant Garu?
Yoga for me is happiness and fullness. And in fact, yoga is connecting or going back to my home, my original place, my fountain, my source.
That's awesome. And Savita Garu, pick somebody from here and then, introduce yourself, and then what does yoga mean for you and what you would like to get out of this camp?
I forgot the names. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm going to address everyone. Yoga for me is, I think they've all exhausted all the words I want to say. So I resonate with every word everybody shared. Yoga is a flow. This morning I was cooking. I was doing yoga right there because I was in it. I was doing the process. So being part of it. So yoga is a flow, like flow of life. Basically. Yeah. My daughter Sonia is here. Sonia, what's yoga for you?
I guess about reflection.
Louder.
I guess about reflection, and I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Wow. If you're comfortable, you can also share your video so that everybody gets to see. That's a very profound definition. Reflection. It's reflection. That's awesome. Awesome. So very quickly about myself, I'm Srini. I'm Srini Gurapu. I now work at a company called Clean Dot Software. Before all of you know, some of you know me. I used to work at Apple, but Apple, we just shook hands. Now I'm with this company called Clean Dot Software. I just joined them about 3 months ago now. But my passion is yoga, and with Kiran, Ramakant, Savita, and all of us, we're pursuing our passion about what we now call as the 10 YEC, Youth Excellence Center. It's all about youth. In one way, I look at it as yoga is all about youth. But the youth doesn't mean that only some of you who are like 15 years or 18 years or younger. We are all youth. We're all going to youth. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start with some of the reflection, like as Sonia said, reflection of what do we think yoga is? What do we think yoga is? We're going to spend some time knowing about what yoga is. And then we're going to get into some action. We're going to do some action. We're going to do some postures, followed by, again, we're going to learn something about, what are some of the key dimensions of yoga. And then we're going to do some of the workshops, depending on, today's focus is about mastering sun salutations. Today we're going to focus on sun salutations. And then if you have time, then we'll also, some of we'll also do a yoga dance, right? How many of you remember the yoga dance? Do you remember? Samhita? No, I see. But so if that is the case, we're going to, bring it back again. But before I begin, how much yoga do we do every day? Raise your hands. Shauryan, how much yoga you do every day?
I do it about like once a week.
Once a week, I see. What about you, Shruti?
It's on a more irregular schedule.
Vedamshi?
Yeah, I think for me it's a bit irregular.
Virinchi?
Not much. That's not much.
Not much, I see. So what we're going to learn today is that how can we do yoga 24/7 all the time? And here's the best part. Even though some of you say like you are irregular, all I know for a fact is that you're doing yoga pretty much all the time, particularly this particular kids. And we'll know why that is. These kids, Sonia, Savita, Ramakant Garu, kids, we do yoga all the time. The reason why we are here is most of the time we're doing yoga. And yoga is not just about doing asanas or bends and moves. It's about our way of life. Like what you said, being joyful, being truthful. That's yoga. So we're actually, if somebody says how much time, Pranav, somebody says how much yoga do we do, what should we say?
We do it every day.
All the time.
All the time.
Right? That is the right answer, because that's what we are. Right? So let's quickly look at some of the things that we want to talk about, and then we get into some of the action.
Just theory for now, and then later on we'll just do that.
But it's not theory. Hopefully we'll make it more interactive. Yeah. So number one, the thing that we now call as a Youth Excellence Center. It's all about, as Shruti and Vedamshi said, how can we be in excellent state? How can we be in harmonious state, in balance all the time? And that's our true identity. And we talked about two prayers, right, at the beginning. The first one is, we call that as a excellence in seeking. Anytime when we are learning something, whether we are in a classroom or whether we are learning music, whether we are doing this yoga foundation, this is an invocation that we do. The invocation, what it actually means is together. That means, in my role of, who I'm sharing what I know about yoga, in your role of wanting to learn about the yoga. But here, the best part here is there is no one fixed role. I'm not the teacher. You're also teachers to me. By being with you together, we are actually taking on this journey of learning. And that's what this invocation is. Because everybody, the learning is all about our own experience. So one commitment that we need to do is don't believe in anything that I say. The only thing is take it and then apply it. And if you resonate with it, that becomes your learning. I'm only here to share what I'm experiencing. But the only truthful thing that we all need to surrender in life, of course, our parents tell us something, our teachers tell us something. Our job is to take it and apply it. And then once you connect with it, that becomes your own truth. Because that's what we need to become. Because, if everybody tells you, like, I tell, Shruti all the time, you need to eat more veggies. But only when she believes it, that's when becomes that her experiential truth. Otherwise, it's like, it's what Nana says. and she never follows it, right? The commitment that we're going to make is, okay, whatever comes our way, we're going to explore it, we're going to experiment it. If we connect it, make it as our own, right? So what this is basically saying is, whenever we are in a situation like this, it could be in your classroom or in a situation like this, we are all making this commitment that we are going to work together. We're going to give everything that we have. At this time, what do we have? We are only here. Why don't we make the most out of this? Like, if you were talking about after 1 o'clock, what do we eat for lunch, right? We can actually defer that to at 1 o'clock, right? But when we are here, make it be the most effective use of time. And then the most important thing is, there is no competition. This yoga journey is our own. Even when we are doing the postures, let's not focus on the other person is bending more, the other person is doing this more. No, it's all about our individual journey. So this is one of the beautiful prayers that we have. In the end, we say Om Shanti 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 3 times. Why do we say 3 times? Does anybody know?
Because 3 is a special number.
3 is a special number. Wow.
It signifies something holy or spiritual or something?
Oh, holy or spiritual. I see. And I think, you said spiritual and holier, but what is the special significance of 3?
There are 3 gods.
The 3 gods?
3
The 3 main gods. Trimurti, like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva kind of stuff. That's a good answer. And anybody else? Shruti, do you know why we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times?
The special number.
Sanya or Savita Garu?
I think peace within, inside the peace out, it's externally, and peace in the world, maybe for everyone.
Something similar, because every time when we look at our existence as the body, number one is, this is our one being. And then what we also say is, like, there is something there is an inner world, and then there's an outer world. What we are saying is, okay, I need to be in peace and excellence within this body and mind. That's number one. And then we believe that there is something inside. There is an inner world. We call that as a spiritual world, spiritual self. We want to have Shanti for that. And then we also look at the outer world. So our existence is always spanning 3 worlds. And the beautiful thing here is, how many of you know the sound Om? Your name is Om, right?
Yeah, my name signifies Om.
The Om is made of 3 syllables. A, U, M. So again, we want to make sure that the 3 syllables that make up the Om, also want to be in Shanti or excellent state. And we'll learn a little bit more about that. There is some interesting symmetry with 3. Okay. And then the second one, the prayer that we sang at the beginning, this is fundamental to our truth, our existence. What we say is Asatoma Sadgamaya. Asat means untruth. Sat means truth. What is untruth? Srini is in an unhappy mood or suffering or sad mood. That's untruth. Any one of us, whenever we are in a negative emotion, or whenever we are not in harmony, whenever we are feeling not good about ourselves, we just have to believe that is not the truth. In the yoga journey, anybody that's in the yoga journey, any situation, if there is any negative emotion, fear, anger, or insecurity or anything, we just need to believe that is untruth. And our journey in the yoga is to go from that untruth, asatoma, to sadgamaya. Sadgamaya means always joyful, excellent, feel good about your body, feel good about your mind. And that is the journey that we are on, right? And this is one of the core, we call that as an anthem for YEC, Youth Excellence. Excellence means whenever we feel like, we are unhappy, we say, like, okay, that's not true. That's not me. And then we work towards to get into a happy and joyful state. And the next thing that I want to say is, like, whenever we are looking at ourselves, right? Now this asattu sadgamaya, untruth, the truth. Whenever we look at it, sometimes this inefficiency or unhappy state can come from within ourselves, or could come from our family, or could come from our school or the workplace, or sometimes in the world. Like, for example, COVID now. right? In the COVID basically causes us a lot of grievances that we are not able to go to restaurants or we are not able. But instead of feeling sad about it, we just need to figure out how do we get into a happier state. So all of us need to look at as the captains of our own world. We are the leaders who can create excellence and the happiness for our own being, our own family, our school, and then our world. All of us have that capability. So every time we look at our existence or our life, this is like, okay, at least there are four worlds that we represent. One is our own being, and then our family, and then our school or the workplace, and then our world. And all of us have that capability. Yoga actually allows us to do that. Now let's actually come back to what we are trying to do in this Yoga Foundations. First, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about what and why yoga. Many of you already shared about what and why of yoga. And then we're going to, in the entire camp, we're also going to learn about the 8 limbs. There is a holistic approach. Like what we said, right? Most of us, we only know about yoga as asanas or some breathing and the dhyana. But the holistic yoga includes about 8 different limbs. It's about how we live, being truthful, being joyful, how we help others. That's also yoga. And that's actually the more fundamental element of yoga, which we are already doing. So we are always, we are yogis by birth and we are yogis by our nature. And then what we're going to learn is, while we are taking on this journey, going from inefficient state to excellent state, what are the typical obstacles that we're going to run into? And this doesn't apply to just yoga. Like, for example, Shauryan is pursuing music. For our practice, sometimes we're going to run into some obstacles. Like sometimes, we get lazy. Sometimes, we want to do something else. We want to go to a movie instead of, practicing music. So we're going to learn about some of these obstacles that we typically run into, and then also focus on some techniques, simple techniques on how we're going to do it. And then every day in the camp, we're going to do a 75 minutes of yoga sequence, and then about 15 to 20 minutes of some drills. And then we're going to do a yoga flow dance. So that's the format of the camp. Okay. And before I begin, does anyone remember this picture? Yeah. Names? There is Sriramji and Ekaji. So both of them, they represent this school called Ekashri Schools of Yoga. And we are all extremely grateful for their blessings, who shared us the knowledge of yoga that I'm now sharing with some of you, right? And Virinchi, when you go back to the Bay Area, you should make some time to meet with Sriramji and Ekaji. Yeah. So this yoga system was it is an eternal knowledge. In fact, this has been there from when the humans originally existed. But Seth Patanjali, around 200 AD, long time ago, 200 AD, what he had done is he took all the essence of yoga, all different dimensions, and composed into one text called Yoga Sutras, Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And there is a salutation that we do a prayer. We're going to recite it for Seth Patanjali. I'm going to quickly say it. Just yogena chittasya padena vacha malam shariram cha vaidyakena vyopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjali ranatosmi. What Patanjali actually did is he created this yoga system to keep our mind in a harmonious state. At the same time, in his one lifetime, what Patanjali also done is he composed grammar for Sanskrit. And then he also designed Ayurveda so that our bodies can be disease-free. How can one individual create 3 such, make these 3 contributions in one lifetime? It's an amazing Muni. That's why we call him a Muni. So what he had done is taken that entire essence and composed it into 195 sutras. Sutras are like, unlike slokas, we all know songs and slokas, right? There was like long rhythmic and beautiful things. But sutras are like it's almost like formulas. How many of you know E equal to MC squared? Do we know E equal to MC squared? Huh?
I think we learned it in basic science.
Exactly. So that's almost like a simple formula. So what he has done is, how do we make ourselves more joyful and harmonious, and how do we cultivate an infinite power or a greater capability within us? He composed that into 195 sutras. So what we're going to do is, we're going to learn a little bit of some of these sutras. The first sutra that what Patanjali said, is a very interesting thing. The way he defined yoga as Atha Yoga Anushasana. So what it actually means is, yoga is a self-discipline. It's a self-discipline. Atha means now. All of us, we've been doing all kinds of things, right? We are playing, we're going to restaurants, we're going watching Netflix, we're doing all kinds of things. Why are we doing all those things? When we wake up, we do all kinds of things. Why do we do all the different things? To seek some kind of a happiness, right? We study and we play with some video games. Shauryan, do you play video games? A little bit. But we do all the different things to seek happiness. But if you observe, like, I was talking to Shruti. I asked her, what makes her happy? And it just says like donuts. So that's why there is a picture of donut there, right? And then for me, until about 10 years ago, I thought I needed to buy 4 cars, and then I needed to have 3 different buildings, and then I need to have a lot of stock, and I need to be a CEO of a company. And then that's what I was running towards. That's the second category. But then what I realized is, after I got my second car, it gave me a little bit of happiness for some time. After that, it became an old car. Then I needed to go do the servicing. I need to worry about parking and all that kind of stuff. And same thing with Shruti. She likes donuts. And she was like, okay, she ate 1 donut, and then second donut, and third donut, then she got a stomachache. So what you realize is that in life, whenever we are doing this donuts and going after wanting more things and wanting other people to do something for you, it only gives you a temporary happiness. Then again, you're back on the same race, from the movie to nice food to some other thing. What yoga, Patanjali basically said is, okay, you've been trying all kinds of experiments, but you don't know the real secret on how to be joyful all the time. And he says, like, this, come to the path of yoga. The yoga will allow you to be joyful all the time, but it is something that you do it for yourself. Anushasan. Shasan means discipline. Anushasan is the discipline that you impose on yourself. And this word of discipline is an interesting thing. And I was having this discussion with some kids the other day. What they thought was, discipline means lack of freedom. Discipline means lack of freedom, right? Is discipline a freedom thing, or is discipline gives us more joy, or a discipline gives us some kind of a punishment? Shruti?
I don't think it's that much of a freedom thing,
Oh.
but I feel like it is good to be happy.
A lot of people, like, for example, in the contemporary world, a lot of people want individual freedom so that they want to be able to do whatever, right? And what do they do? When do they have a discipline? They go to a bar, and they want to engage in all kinds of indulgences. But what does that do? That freedom, does it give you happiness? In the moment, you may feel a little bit good, elevated. The very next day morning, you're like suffering and you're in a lot of pain. So the right happiness comes from the discipline that you impose on yourself, engaging in the right habits. That's what is yoga. Like, for example, if you go to a bar or if you eat a lot of donuts, even though temporarily it may give you some happiness, what it results in eventually is stomachache and all kinds of ailments. That is not the right type of freedom. The right type of freedom is engaging in good healthy eating habits, or engaging with right techniques like yoga, or creating something new, helping others. Those things, they may look, coming to a camp or doing yoga on the mat, it may look a little bit painful in the beginning. But once you start doing it, the end result is more happiness and harmony. So we need to always have this discrimination. What are the things that may look instantaneously joyful, but then 1 hour later, they result in pain? So yoga is that discipline, while it looks a little bit problematic or a little bit tricky or painful to start with, but what it ends up with is a more joyful state. Go ahead, Kiran.
Quick thought to share.
So
yeah, the way I look at discipline is more of a structure. Right? Discipline doesn't have to be seen as a negative thing, but rather a structure, a combination of things that you can do. You discipline yourself, you discipline somebody else.
Correct.
But what the more important thought I want to share was, actually I feel that kids are lucky because parents or teachers take care of giving them the structure.
Correct.
It's actually harder for adults to discipline themselves.
Correct.
So I just want to remind the kids that, hey, this is a good time when somebody else is giving the structure for you. So just use
Correct. And then you need to follow with it.
Yeah.
Like, today when you wake up, you have to brush your teeth. How many of you brush your teeth by yourself? Or does your parents have to tell you? Right? You do it yourself, right?
I'm the ask the older ones, because the older ones are like
out of the question, exactly. So, but this is exactly, that is what is called a self-discipline. Because you now know that, hey, brushing our teeth in the morning is good for you. So nobody has to tell you. Same way, the yoga journey is also something that you impose it on yourself, just like brushing your teeth. Right? That's what a self-discipline means, because you know that it is something that's good for you. So all we are trying to do in this foundations camp is to make sure that you get a little bit taste of that, so that you take it upon yourself, so that your parent or a teacher or somebody would not have to do this, right? And what is the actual definition of yoga? This is something that is lost on a lot of people, right? A lot of people, think that, in the yoga means, doing a full back bend or a wheel pose or headstand and all that stuff. But what Patanjali defined is that yoga is about keeping your mind in a harmonious and joyful state. Keeping your mind in a joyful state. And the interesting thing is, if you look at your mind, we all have 5 fingers, right? Patanjali and some other people said, like, your mind can be assessed in 5 states. Number 1, it could be in a very agitated state. Like, if you're unhappy with something or unhappy with somebody else, the pinky finger, sometimes we call this as a disturbed state, right? We can actually achieve it. If somebody is doing something mean stuff, then you automatically get into a disturbed state and you want to do something back to them, or why did they do it? And that's what Patanjali said is like the pinky finger. It could be a disturbed state. Or the second, the ring finger, mind can sometimes be in a dull state. Whereas, like, you don't want to do anything, you give up, you don't have any drive, you're just like, why do I have to work hard? And you just want to sleep and you don't care about anything. You're like in a dull, state. You don't want to mingle with anything, right? And then the third, which is like, you want to do something, but you're like distracted. You do something here and then you move on to something here, you move something. It's like, what is called a scattered mind, it's like multitasking. Right? Particularly with the social media, we end up doing so many things. There is a Twitter message comes in, and then there is a phone call comes in, there is a message comes in. And then from there, in the yoga, you move into Ekagra state, one-pointedness. If you want to achieve something, like when I'm practicing piano, I'm only focused on that. Or when I'm learning math in the class, I'm only focused on that. Right? And then the thumb, mastery over your mind. Right? Yoga is about understanding our mind state. Sometimes how many of us ever get into any disturbed state? Do we ever? All of us do, right? What we knew is that is the pinky finger. What we need to do is, whenever you are in the disturbed state, just be aware of that. Say that is not who I am. And then we need to move into the thumb state, which is the mastery. What is like, we need to quickly realize that the disturbed state is there, the mind, aware of that. And then realize that, but that is not me. That is the asatoma sadgamaya. That is not me. That's untruth. Then yoga gives you a lot of techniques to go from that disturbed state to that one-pointed state, and mastery state so that we can be joyful all the time. How many of us get into a dull state? All the time, right? Or particularly in the morning, you don't want to get up onto the mat. How many of us get into a distracted state, scattered state? Right? You want to do something and then suddenly something comes in, you do this, and then you're all multitasking, right? Those three states are asat states. But it happens to all of us. The moment when we are in those three states, we have shifted away from our yoga state. And from there, we are going to get into our pointer finger and the master, the thumb. So our job is to become excellent state, joyful. We need to have mastery of our mind. Why? In a scientific realm, now as I'm learning more about yoga from a scientific realm, in the yoga, your minds, your thoughts actually consume a lot of energy. That's the power that is there. When you're disturbed, when you're angry, or when you're upset, when you're sad, and we're thinking negative about somebody or this stuff, you're actually dissipating a lot of your energy. Whatever the power that we have, we're actually just simply dissipating it. We waste about 90% of our energy in that disturbed state or in the dull state. That disturbed state goes into dull state. You don't want to feel like doing anything. You don't want to talk about anything. You don't want to take on a new challenge, new project, and express your creativity. Again, there also you're like covering. We call that as a avarnam, smoke. We're all like really capable beings. We're all masters of every domain. If you're pursuing math, you can actually reach excellence there. If you're like, what Virinchi said, if he's pursuing volleyball, he can actually get to there. But once he gets disturbed or distracted or in a dull state, it puts a smoke around the entire thing, like a cloud covering the sunshine. We need to recognize that about 90 to 95% of our capacity is lost with these kind of untruthful states. The best part is all of us know that we are getting into those states. Now, what yoga, basically what Patanjali said is, how do we gain control of our mind so that it always remains harmonious and focused? Ekagra, mastery. Mastery means we should basically control what type of emotion that we want to feel by ourselves. Why do we get disturbed? Is it because we want to be disturbed? Who wants to be disturbed all the time? Does anybody want to be disturbed? No, right? No, right?
No one would want to even be asked. No one would want to like ruin themselves.
Ruin themselves, right? We know that we always want to be joyful and happy, but we know that we get into disturbed state.
Hands alone, it's not like
right? Because what happens is we always look at others, right? Others or other things. We become victims of the things around us. Somebody says something on a CNN or a news, and then we get affected. Right? Something is happening in India, and then our mind gets disturbed. This is nothing real. It's just that mind creates all kinds of experiences. So we just need to be a little bit aware of that. Whenever you are in a disturbed state, if you just go and observe, why am I disturbed? And it's like, oh, my mom said that yesterday. Your mom probably doesn't even remember that. Right? And that yesterday is there, but you're still holding on to it. Mind is still creating a movie. So the way I look at it is our minds are like a TV with so many channels, right? There are all kinds of movies being played. My mom's movie, my dad's movie, my friend's movie, all these movies are being played, and you're going through like what happened yesterday, what happened and stuff. And then you create all kinds of masala, right? So that's how you get into disturbed. It's so silly, right? We just stay in a very nice, our nice house and where everything is perfect. But then our mind puts us in a disturbed state. Patanjali basically said, right? He understood the mind. This mind is the one that is actually creating all these movies. There is no real scene there, but we create all these movies. So what he basically said is, recognize that you are in a dull state or a disturbed state or your scattered state. And then what Patanjali said is, using yoga, we can actually get into Ekagra, one-pointedness, and then we can also gain mastery so that we can, if you want to be disturbed, actually, we should actually get into like a meditation. I want to be disturbed right now. And then you can choose, I want to be disturbed because of my daughter. You do it by yourself. Don't let them actually create the disturbance. That's what is yoga. If you want to feel joyful, you just sit here, I want to be joyful. But don't let a donut give the power. Because today we give donuts so much power to make us happy. Isn't it better? Like, don't we want to have the power within ourselves to make ourselves happy or sad? Why do you want to make a donut be more powerful than us? Shruti? Is that right? Yeah. So that's what Patanjali said. This yoga is about getting this. And then there are some beautiful things. If you observe your mind, our job is to make our mind to be feeling like a surface of a clear lake. No disturbed waves, no dull waves, no scattered waves, no ripples. So when you go to a beautiful, lake, then what happens is, see that anything, when you're on the surface of a clear lake, you can clearly see the depth, right? When you go to the surface of a clear lake, you can clearly go see the depth because the water is so clear. We can actually make our minds to be that way. We can make our minds to be that way. And what happens is, when your minds become so purified so that it doesn't have any disturbed emotions or dullness and so on and so forth, what happens is then we can actually see the divine and the divine within us. So that every word that we do, every action that we do, it actually gets into the misery. So that's what Patanjali said. We are going to come back into a little bit of this. The one thing that I'm going to leave with is, anytime when we have a negative emotion, there is a phrase that we say. It's called, when you're in a dark, let's say if there is a rope, something like this. What do you think? It might be a snake. And then when you think that it's a snake, what does it do? Your heart starts palpitations and you think like, oh my God, how do I do this? But in reality, it's just a rope. Just because your mind actually thought that it is a snake, it suddenly puts you into disturbed and agitated and all that state. So what yoga actually says is that anytime you're feeling bad, that is just a misperception. You're confusing a snake for a rope. Yoga basically says that we are always very joyful beings, so that we don't have this misperception. So that's quickly what I wanted to capture. Anything, Ramakanchi or Savita Garu, anything that you want to share?
I think we should get into action.
Okay, chalo. Let's actually now do I'm going to make you, everybody please align yourself so that we can actually do a okay, take your mats. Shruti, do you know where you're doing? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, chalo. Okay, everybody want to take position? So in our yoga class, can you put that a little bit, or Pranav, or move a little bit inside? Yeah. So what we're going to do in the yoga practice is, we're going to start with some warm-up stretching, and then we're going to do some standing exercises, and then some floor, and then we're going to end with some relaxation and meditation, right? So before we do it, so Ramakant Garu and Savita Garu, can you see me okay?
Yes, we are able to see you clearly, yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, in the yoga, there are few things. And yoga is all about making aware of our body and the mind. So what I would want all of us to stay focused on is being aware of our own body parts. usually we are not aware of our toes. Right? You're not aware of our fingers. So what I would want all of us to pay attention to is our toes. So whenever we are standing, we need to keep our heels and toes touching together. See, if we cannot even be aware of our own toes, how can we be aware of the people around us, right? So let's actually make a commitment to be aware of our own toes, right? Keep our heels and toes touching together. We'll start with some simple stretching exercises. Balance on one leg, and then we'll roll one feet. Yeah, clockwise rotation. And then if you want, we can also use our thumb and try to write some alphabets. Right, sorry, dictate. And can we write A, B, C, D? And then let's do it on the other side. Balance on your right foot. Keep your left leg up and then rotate clockwise and clockwise. And then write some alphabets. Okay. Now let's play a little bit of standing soccer, right? So keep on this and then swing your leg up, left and right. Then kick hard, like a soccer ball. Do it on the other side. Balance on your right leg. Now, kick. So now we'll do a little bit of knee rotation. Bring our feet together, put our hands on your knees and rotate our knees clockwise. And then other side. You know, there is a saying, it says that we can mess with gods, but we can never mess with our knees. Because you need our knees, right? You know, to be able to running, dancing, everything, you need our knees. So now let's do a little bit of waist rotation. Put your feet about 2 feet apart. Our hands on the waist. Then do hip rotations. On the other side. Stretch our hands. Be aware of your fingers. And squish your fingers. And then let's move side to side. So the next is to strengthen our shoulders. Okay, now again, bring your heels and toes touching together. And let's move up and down. Okay, now what else do we need to stretch before we move to the asanas? Our neck and head, and then eyes. So we're going to do some neck rotations. Now what we're going to do in the neck rotations is we're trying to synchronize the neck movement with our eye gaze. So simply, like for example, if I'm moving to the side, I'm trying to trace through the entire the movement with my eye gaze, and neck simply follows it, like something like that. So it's more of an eye gaze movement. So this is also, we use it to strengthen our eyes, right? The eye gaze. So ready, begin. And while inhaling, we move to the side. Begin, inhale to the right. Exhale to the center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the center. Virinchi, heels and toes touching together. So that's yoga, right? Inhale to the right. Exhale to the center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the center. Now just observe the beauty of yoga. Now when we are doing this with our breath, are there any other thoughts that are coming in? So this is one of the techniques to actually bring our mind into that Ekagra state, the one-pointed concentration state, right? So these are the techniques that we're going to use. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move up and down. Now begin, inhale. Look to the back wall. Exhale and bring your chin to the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Begin inhale. Exhale. Now let's do the full neck rotation. What we're going to do is tuck your chin to the chest and slowly, in a full clockwise, looking all around the room, to the back wall, to the top left corner, on the floor. Inhale while going up and exhale while coming down. Now let's do the other side. Inhale, go up. To the top wall, top right corner. Okay. Now we're going to practice some breathing. So breathing is actually one of the easier tools that we have to bring our mind into a concentration stage. Anytime when you have a little bit of a disturbed state, you can use our breath to bring back into the self, right? So how many of you know Ujjayi breath? Breathing from the back of the throat, you know it? So what we're trying to do is, shout in, have you practiced it? Ujjayi breath? So what we do is when you say make a ha sound, when you say ha, ha, we are actually breathing it from the back of your throat. So what we try to do is we try to engage from the back of the throat and breathe so deeply, at least for 6 counts. And then exhale for 6 counts. So here is one way that we do it. So we're actually breathing so deeply from here, right? So we're going to practice this a little bit of a breathing. So we use our hands so that we can actually help with the breathing. Everybody, heels and toes touching together, hands by your side, hands by your side. Let's use our hands. Ready to begin. Inhale. And when you're here, be aware of your fingers. Fingers squish, elbows straight, stretch up, elbows straight, stretch up. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Fingers squished, elbows straight, stretch up. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Hold, exhale. Now we'll do it from the side. Inhale. Exhale. Now try to synchronize the breath movement with the hand movement, right? Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to do inhale from the front and exhale from the side, but this time we're going to rotate our breaths. And begin. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale from the side and exhale from the front and anti-clockwise wrist rotation. Ready? Begin. Inhale. Exhale. That's perfect. So now let's do yoga. Who wants to start with sun salutations? To do with sun salutations? Let us begin. Shall we? Yeah. Let's actually begin with sun salutations. Everybody come to the top of the mat. And here, always be aware of the standing posture. Every time, whenever pranab, heels and toes touching together, all the time, right? You know, you could probably face me, right? And hands by your side. Every time, you always come back to this position. We begin. Inhale, hands to the center of your chest. Exhale, bring your elbows down. Inhale, back bend. Elbow straight. And then focus your eye gaze to the tip of the fingers. And then do back bend. And then exhale, stomach suck in and do the forward bend. Now inhale, half lunge to right knee down, right toes pointed. Right toes pointed. Hold your breath, get into plank. And then bring your knees and glide into cobra. Exhale, downward dog. In the downward dog, try to press your heels onto the floor. Try to press your heels onto the floor. Make sure that your weight is evenly balanced across the fingers. Pranav, try to press your heels onto the floor. And then inhale, half left. Exhale and forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hands to the center, hands by your side. So this is one set of sun salutations. One set of sun salutations. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it two more times. Everybody in Tadasana, heels and toes touching together. We should always come back to the center where heels and toes are touching together, hands by your side. Because when you're drifting apart, that's when we are losing control of our mind, because these asanas are invented as a technique to gain control over the mind. So that's why we always need to be aware of the asana, so that we always be aware of where we need to get back to in the standing position. Right? Now, Begin. Is it better for me to be faced this way or that way?
Video was this way.
I think, okay. So ready, everybody, pranam, heels, toes touching together, always. Because when your feet is like this, that means you are not in control of the mind, right? So we always have to use this as technique. Okay, begin, everybody, inhale, hands to the center of the chest, exhale, elbows down. Now inhale, back bend, first elbow straight, fix your eye gaze to the tip of the fingers, and then go back bend. And suck your stomach in, exhale, forward bend. And half lunge to the left. And get into plank, look straight, hold the breath. Pranav, plank. Yeah. And then knees and chest down. And then slowly glide into cobra. Exhale, downward dog. In the downward dog, again, be aware of the fingers. Make sure that your weight is evenly distributed across the palms and try to press your heels under the floor. Inhale, half lunge to the right. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, come to the center, hands by your side. See, whoever came back to everybody seems to have come back to the same place. That means we are getting more control over our mind or the body. Pranav, heels and toes touching together. Ready? We'll do it one more time on each side. So again, be aware of when you're doing the asana, it's more to gain control of our mind. So follow the step by step. Ready? Inhale. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, back bend. Focus your eye gaze to the tip of the fingers. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, half lunge to the right. Right knee down, right toes pointed. Right toes pointed. So Pranav, toes pointed.
Oh, sure.
And get into plank. Chest and chin down. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, half lunge to the left, look up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hands to the center, hands by the side.
Use the mat, you may have a better balance. Or you sleeping? Yeah,
Ah.
I see it.
The issue actually, yeah.
Huh? Hands are sleeping.
Yeah.
There's
That
a
hurts, so yeah.
Huh, right. You have used this. That's okay, I'm just making.
oh.
So Guruji, do you have enough room here or do you want to go to the table? Yeah.
Good. Now let's do it the last side. Okay. Everybody again, come back to the center. Heels and toes touching together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Elbow straight. Lock your eye gaze to the tip of the fingers and back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Now this time, half lunge. That is, so focus your attention on all the details. And then get into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down and glide. Inhale, cobra. Cobra, Pranav, Cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, half lunge to the right knee down, right toes pointed, look up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hands to the center, hands to your side. See, that is sun salutations. The biggest learning from this is one of the sequences designed to strengthen your spine in all different directions, but most importantly, in every step, this is a technique to bring your mind always back to the center. Focusing your attention on the knee and the toes and back bend. This is one of the very well designed system yoga, again to gain mastery over our mind. Okay, now let's strengthen a little bit of our legs. Let's do awkward pose. Everybody take a step to the right, about 4 feet apart. Make sure that your feet are not twisted outwards or inwards. Their feet are parallel. And bring your 2 hands parallel to the ground. Elbow straight, fingers squished. Shruti, fingers squished, elbow straight. And then from here, everybody sit down. It's a nice, beautiful chair. We can be here for a long time, right? And how do we know that whether we are doing the right yoga? We need to have a smile, right? Yoga is not a punishment, right? So it's like smile, beautiful. How long do you want to stay here? 1 hour? Something?
No.
More than that, depending on the number of asanas.
I see. Now everybody stand up. Now keep your hands there. Fingers squished, fingers squished. Keep your hands there. And now stand on our tippy toes. Let's see how long. Vedamshi, how long do you want to stay here?
Not too long.
Not too long. Let's see. And then while keeping there, slowly come down and sit up. Keep your thighs parallel to the ground. Now here we can stay for a long time, correct? Right? And then stand up. From here, keep your hands there. Now gently lift your heels. Bring your 2 knees together. Keep your spine straight. Now in the elevator right, slowly come down. See all the knees are popping out, right? These are and stay here. Look straight. And then slowly, like a nice elevator, stand up. See, when we are doing this pose, does our mind go anywhere else? We're always focused on this, right? Now let's do one more warm-up pose. We'll do Garudasana, eagle pose. Everybody lift our hands up. Bring our right elbow on the left elbow. Interlace your fingers. And then balance on your left leg and twist it. Lift your right leg up, twist it around your left arm. Release. Now we go down the other side. Put your hands up. Now this time bring your left elbow under your right elbow. Interlace your fingers. Sit down. Now balance on your right leg. Lift your left leg up as high as possible and twist it around your right calf. Straight. If you're losing the balance, that means you're not focusing your eye gaze at one point in front of you. Release. So these are some basic warm-up postures. Salutations, awkward pose, and the Garudasana. Now let's take a deep breath and say, doesn't it feel nice? One more time. Want to do one more time? Inhale. Now let's actually do real balancing. Let's see how much we have control over our mind, right? How much? So this one, we do it as a balancing posture. Everybody, let's do it step. Everybody bring your hands in front of you. First, heels and toes touching together. Yeah.
You can do these things maybe on the floor.
I
You have a better.
Yeah.
balance. Yeah. You can pick and choose, but I'm just giving.
This sounds good. I'm over back.
Great, right?
Right. At the
There's less friction.
so basically make sure that as if we are holding some money. As if we are holding some money, right? We don't want to ever let the money drop, right? Now bring it to the side. Bring it to the side, and then grab your right foot at the ankle. You already remember the grip from 2 years ago. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. So you're grabbing it from outside. Grab it from
So you
inside.
bring it like this, right? Yeah, bring it down.
No, you're also grabbing it from outside. I see. But I know. So but usually what we do is we actually do it. No, we try to grab it from inside. So this is a very straight, easier grab, right? It actually. So it is much more easier and intuitive than from outside, right? So only do it to the extent. Once you are here, bring the two knees together and then stretch your left hand up. Now this is the perfect balance. Now once you are here, slowly kick and stretch, kick and stretch, kick and stretch. Look straight through your ring finger. Look straight through your finger. Look straight through your finger. So the drishti, the focus needs to be on the name, right? So this is how we are building the concentration skills, right? Perfect, Shavasana. So the thing is, if your eye gaze is shifting anyway, then you cannot balance. It's the same thing in whatever the activity that you're doing. You keep the hand straight and then keep your drishti straight through your fingernails, right? Let's try the other side. Should be heels and toes touching together. Heels and toes. No. First, we'll do step by step. Now bring your left hand in front of you, palm facing up. Bring it to the side. Now grab your left foot at the ankle from inside. Perfect. Virinchi, that's a good grip. Doesn't it feel natural?
So this
Right?
same thing goes from inside.
Yeah, that's a grab. Now, first bring your two knees together. Right? This is all mind's concentration building skills. Stretch your right hand up. Finger squish. Elbow straight. Now, once you're here, now slowly kick and stretch. Kick and stretch. Look straight through your fingers. Kick and stretch. 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 Right? So that is, hurry, that's a good case.
She went all the way up.
That was a good case. So that was a good case. So Ramakant Garu, Savita Garu, any feedback? I know it's a little bit of messy with adjusting the logistics. How is it working?
It's fine. We can see you, so we can follow you.
Okay, good job. So now let's do one more time of this balancing posture. But see, within no time, we've harnessed the power of a focus point. So this is how the system is designed to build, to get more of our mind power, to go from disturbed and dull mind to now we are more dynamic and we are achieving things that we thought we could not achieve before. How can we balance on one foot and do this? Right? We are cultivating more capability within us. Right? Should we do it one more time? Okay, chalo, everybody get into Tadasana. Now, heels, toes touching together. Heels, toes touching. Bring the right hand in front of you, palm facing up. Bring it to the side. Grab the right foot at the ankle. Bring the two knees together. And then shift your left hand up. Everybody, finger squished, engage the fingers. not the sleepy fingers, right? And stretch up. Stretch up. Now from here, kick and stretch. Look, don't look down. Look straight through your fingers. Stretch, 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 stretch. Perfect. Samyama, that is super fantastic. Looks like you've been practicing yoga for the past 2 years. Is that right? Yeah? That is awesome. I mean, they just have that grip very naturally. Everybody had it. That was awesome. Now let's do it the other side. Heels and toes touching together. Bring your left hand in front of you, palm facing up. Bring it to the side. Grab the left foot at the ankle. You should get a picture of Vedanshi. You should get a picture of Vedanshi and Samyama. And everybody, these kids are doing really well. Lift the right hand up. Up. Now kick. And stretch. Look straight. Look straight through your fingers. Look straight. Straight through your fingers. Look straight. Look straight, 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 straight. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I know you're actually doing it. Okay, now let's do one more balancing posture. Okay, this time, again, come to the back of the mat, go to the back of the mat. Everybody, put your 2 hands up. Interlace your fingers, release your index finger, the Ekagra finger. Right? And when you're holding, see Virinchi, see if you can glue the palms together. Right? And then take a big step, 4 feet apart. And then slowly come down, look straight, lift your left leg up. You make a perfect T. You make a perfect T. Release. Release. Come to this. Now, let's do it on the other side. Lift your hands up. Interlace your fingers. Release your index finger. Take a big step with your left leg. And slowly come down. Look straight through your fingers and lift your right leg up. Make a perfect T. Make a perfect T. It's a beautiful posture, right? Now let's do triangle. The triangle. Now everybody take a big step. If you're by your side, either do it on the side. I think that's better. Do it on the side. Take a big step. 4 feet apart. Hands parallel to the ground. Fingers squished. Fingers fully engaged. Now turn your right foot to the right. Turn your right foot to the right. Right, keep your hand. And then sit down until your right thigh becomes parallel to the ground. And then gently rotate your arms. Right hand down, left hand up. Look straight through your left hand. Stay here. Once you're here, rest your right palm to the ground and then bring your left hand over your left ear. Release. Back to the center. Now we'll do it on the other side. Turn your left foot to the left. Sit down until your left thigh becomes parallel to the ground. And again, you're straight. And then bring your left hand down, right hand up. Once you're here, rest your left hand onto the floor and bring your right hand over your right ear. Release. Center. Now let's do one more time. Should we do it one more time? Which one is easier? This one or the balance standing one?
This one is really easier actually.
This one is easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps us balance.
Yes. Stretch more.
It's stretch more, right? It's actually considered one of the biggest cardio exercises because it's also improves your heart health. It also improves your lung health and the balance. So this is considered actually when you do the Bikram yoga or other stuff, they call this as like a peak of the mountain, right? But the key thing here is to stay in that posture for at least 30 seconds. That's when you actually improve your overall cardiac health, right? Now let's do it one more time. Take a big step, 4 feet apart. Turn your right foot to the right. Sit down. Make the right thigh parallel to the ground. And then turn your right hand down, left hand up. Make sure that you're not putting your weight on your hand. You're actually just keeping it away from the floor. It's about an inch away from the floor. And you're stretching up. And stay here. Once you're here, you rest your right palm to the ground and then bring your left hand over your left ear. And stay in the posture for 2 breaths. And release. Now we try to do the other side. Now turn your left foot to the left. Sit down until your left thigh becomes parallel to the ground. So what we're doing is with this yoga, we are yoking our body and the mind. We're doing both at the same time. Now turn your left hand down, right hand up. Stay here. Now rest your left palm down. And then bring your right hand over your right ear. And release. We're going to do 2 postures before we do we'll move on to the floor. Now everybody come to the back of mat. We'll do what is called as the forward. It strengthens your kidneys and the health, right? Do we need to worry about our kidneys? No?
Yeah, we need to always work.
Yeah, we need to
Always keep our kidneys in safe.
exactly. So we should put attention to this thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, lift our hands up. Take a big step. And keeping your thing there, tuck your chin to the chest. And slowly come down. Slowly come down until your forehead touches the right knee. If you need to separate your hands, they're perfectly fine. Try to touch your forehead to the knee. So what you're doing is you're stretching up your back and stretching up your kidneys, improving the kidney health. And slowly come back the way you went into the posture. Now let's do the other side. Take a big step. Bring your hands up. Again, elbow straight. Elbow straight. Now slowly tuck your chin to the chest, curl down until your forehead touches the knee. If you cannot touch your knee, you can also bend your knee as much as possible, but your forehead must touch the knee. And release. So we're going to do the last posture of the standing series, our favorite posture. Does anybody remember what's the last posture? The tree posture. Right? So we're going to get into Tadasana, heels and toes touching together. Now while balancing on the left leg, lift your right leg as high as possible. Press into your left thigh. Press into your left thigh. If you cannot, bring it to your knee or down, but bring it as high as possible. The powder already knows what to do. Bring your two hands to the center of the chest. If you're missing your balance, that means you need to focus your eye gaze at one point in front of you. Lift your two hands up. Stretch up. Again, keep your Ekagra. Focus at one point in front of you. Once you're balanced, while keeping your attention on your breath, see if you can close your eyes. How many people were able to close their eyes even for a second? See, that is, but that is like, that is the power of our focus, how we are able to harness. Can you imagine? For many people, just balancing on one foot itself is very difficult. But now you lift your legs up and keeping your eye gaze without shaking. And then if you can close your eyes, even that 1 or 2 seconds just creates so much power in our mind. Now this translates into your studies and your health and your joyful being. Right? Now let's do it on the other side. Balancing your right leg. Lift your left leg up as high as possible. Press into your right thigh. Now bring your two hands to the center of chest. Keep yourself balanced here. And lift your two hands up. And go straight, glue your palms together. And then once you're comfortable here, try to close your eyes. Okay. So now that's how we cultivate more power within ourselves, right? With this level of concentration. So while you're doing the yoga, did anybody think about what's happening around the world? No, right? We're just focused on here. Were you? Right? A little bit. So that means you need to do a little bit more yoga, right? But this is a practice. So now let's actually lie down and let's do some of the floor series, and then we're going to get back. Take a quick break. Lie down in Shavasana. Lie down on back, heels together. In the Shavasana, try to keep our heels together, toes fall apart. Hands by your side, palms facing the sky. Chin away from your chest. Take a deep breath and exhale. Exhale and sink into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's begin the floor series with Pavanamuktasana. Keep your left leg nice, relaxed on the floor. Grab your right leg 2 inches below the knee. Grab your right leg with your interlaced fingers and pull your right knee towards your right shoulder. Tuck your chin to the chest to stimulate your thyroid. And stay here for a couple of breaths. And release. Now let's do it on the other side. Keep your right leg nice, relaxed on the floor. Grab your left leg 2 inches below the knee. Tuck your chin to the chest. And pull your left knee towards your left shoulder. and release. So we do a little bit of a bridge pose. Bring your two legs closer to your hips. Bring your two legs closer to your hips and grab your ankles with your hands. Tuck your chin to the chest and lift your waist up. Lift your waist up as high as you can. As high as possible. And release. Now we'll work on spine strengthening, please. Everybody roll over under your stomach. Roll over under your stomach. So we'll start with Cobra Bhujangasana, where we strengthen our lower back. Glue your two legs together like you only have one cobra here. How many legs does cobra have? One. So you need to feel like you have only one cobra leg. Toes pointed. Bring your two hands by your side. Align the top of the fingers with the top of your shoulders. They're not further up. Vedams not further up or further down. They need to be aligning the top of your fingers with the top of shoulders. Always glue your elbows closer to your body. And then like a cobra, inhale and lift your head up. Lift your head up, look up, elbows touching the body, try to press the elbows down. The cobra, lift up, cobra, cobra, cobra. Indian cobras lift very high. And release. So this stretches the lower spine. Now let's work on upper spine. Roll side to side and bring our hands under your body. Roll side to side. Roll side to side. Bring your hands under your body. Now, bring your left ear onto the mat, look to the right. It's a very nice, relaxing posture. Stretches your neck. And then keep your left leg nice, relaxed on the floor. Lift your right leg up. Lift your right leg up as high as you can. Make sure that there is no bent knee. There's no bent knee. Lift your right leg up. And release. Now we'll do it on the other side. Now this time bring your right ear onto the mat, look to the left. Now lift your left leg up as high as possible. Release. Now you're going to bring our mouth onto the mat, bring your head to the center. Make sure that your mouth or the face never comes off the mat. Now glue your two legs together. And this time we lift both legs together. Ah, Virinchi, that's perfect. Perfect. Lift, lift, and release. So this strengthens our upper back. Now let's do Shavasana. Bring your left ear onto the mat, look to the right. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll do it on the other side. Bring your right ear onto the mat, look to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's move on to our favorite posture, aeroplane postures, to strengthen our middle spine. Stretch your two hands by your side like two aeroplane wings. Two aeroplane wings. Glue your two legs together like an aeroplane tail. Like a Boeing 777, lift up. Lift your legs and hands up, like fly the plane, fly your body. Lift up, 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 and slowly release. Did anybody crash? No. Okay. Now let's do the final posture for the spine strengthening series, which is Dhanurasana. Grab your left leg, left foot with your left hand. Grab your right foot with your right hand. Like your hands and legs becomes like the two wheels for your body. And then lift up, lift and kick, lift and kick, kick, release. And slowly lift up and sit in Vajrasana. We'll do tail posture. So everybody in Vajrasana, sit on your heels, sit on your heels. Yeah. And lift our hands up. Elbow straight. Elbow straight. Now slowly keeping like the balancing stick, stretch forward. So this helps to have all the fresh oxygenated blood gush through your brain, helping to clear and bring focus, clear any dull thoughts and bring focus. Knees. We'll do two more postures. We'll do the forward bend, Paschimottanasana. We'll do half Paschimottanasana. Bring your right leg in front of you. Cross your left leg, press into your right thigh. And then we'll do it step by step, like with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, grab your right foot. Inhale and stretch forward. Exhale, elbows down, forehead down. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Now let's do it on the other side. Bring your left leg in front of you. Cross your right leg, press into your left thigh. Inhale. Exhale, grab your left foot. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, elbows down, forehead down. And release. And then this time, we'll do the full forward bend. Bring your two legs in front of you. And flex the toes towards you. This is pointed toes. This is flexed toes. Right? Flex the toes in front of you. We begin. Inhale. Exhale, grab your two big toes. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, elbows down and stretch forward. Release. We'll do butterfly posture. You know butterfly? Italy? Yeah. Bring your 2 feet together. And flap your butterfly wings. This is a very good hip opener. You see, Sanskrit is butterfly, is not flapping wings. Right? Flap, flap, flap. Shruti, flap. Now grab your 2 big toes. Press your elbows into the thigh. And inhale. Exhale, curl down. And bring your forehead to the toes or the fingers. This is the last posture, which is the Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spine twist. Somebody is like, you just want to be a butterfly, right? Huh?
Yeah.
That's a very, very fun. So now the last one, which is across the left leg. And bring your right leg over your left knee. Now stretch your left hand up. Stretch your left hand up. And then bring it over your right leg and grab your left knee. And keep your spine straight. Then slowly turn to the right and look over your right shoulder. Release. Now we'll do it on the other side. Now this time cross your right leg. Bring your left leg over your right knee. Now this time stretch your right hand up. And bring it over your left leg. Grab your right knee. Look straight and slowly look. Twist to the left and look over your left shoulder. Release. So now that concludes our asanas for today. What we're going to do is we're going to do some final breathing and try to practice some meditation, and then we'll take a quick break. Everybody sit straight in comfort posture. So we started what did we start the practice today with? Ujjayi. So what we're going to end with is Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is the belly breathing, where we try to exhale so that all the toxins will come out, right? It also energizes your digestive system. So the way we do it is we only exhale, inhale happens automatically, something like that. Something like this, right? So everybody do it together for now. Let's do it together. Ready to begin? Now exhale completely. Now suck your stomach in and extend your rib cage. So this elongates your spine. Now inhale. Stretch your hands up. Rotate your wrist. Inhale. I would want all of you to inhale, and while inhale, gently close your eyes, fix your eye gaze in the third eye, and focus on any one sound that you observe in the room. Just focus your attention on any one sound. Right? Ready to begin? Inhale. Release. Release. So what is the one sound that you focused on, Vidalshi? Some breathing. You're breathing or somebody else? Somebody else breathing. Somebody, I saw that you were deeply focused. What's the one sound that you're focused on? Breathing. So, shouting.
I also heard someone breathing.
Now we're going to do one set of the same thing, but this time I would want us to focus on the farthest sound that we could hear outside of this room. The farthest. Right? Just focus on pointing out any one sound signal that's outside of the room, but the farthest that we could hear. Right? Again, we go through the process, and we're going to do that. We'll focus on the sound that is farthest from us. Right? Ready, begin? Exhale completely. Suck your stomach in. Stretch out. Inhale. Stretch your hands up. Rotate your fingers. Inhale, bring your hands to the center of the chest. Inhale, shift your attention to the farthest sound, the subtlest. Release. Gurinchi, what was the farthest sound that you could hear?
A plane.
A plane?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Turn up.
Heart breaths.
Breaths, but in the room. Oh, the breaths outside the room?
Here in the room.
No, you didn't focus on the farthest sound?
I'm hearing.
I see. That's good. That's good. Relaxing.
Yeah, first I also heard the plane overhead.
I actually, I heard some noise. I didn't know it was playing, but I heard some. I didn't know it was playing.
Shouting?
I heard a plane too.
Yeah, okay. What about you? You heard the plane too?
Yeah, the plane's in the cars after.
Actually, I did not hear the plane also, so I was not that much Ekagra, right? Which is very good. So
There's messages in the chat.
I know. I think let's see if somebody is there, they were going to tell us. But the thing here is, this is one of the techniques that we say is like, shifting your attention at any one point in time to focus on any one sound inside or any one sound outside the room, right? So that your ears become like an antenna. You're trying to scan the sounds. So that's also another thing. So let's actually chant, close our eyes and let's chant Om 3 times. And begin. And we'll say it like Aum. One more time. Last one, take a deep breath. Gently lie down in Shavasana. Lie down on your mat. Feet slightly apart, hands by your side. Chin away from your chest. Eyes gently closed. Take a deep breath and exhale. And gently do progressive relaxation. I'll say the name of the body part. Take a small breath and exhale. And mentally say, relax. Right foot. Right ankle. Shin. Right calf. Right knee. Right thigh. The whole right leg. Inhale and relax. Now left foot. Left ankle. Shin. Left calf. Left knee. Left thigh. The whole left leg. Inhale and relax. Your attention to the waist, right waist, left waist, stomach, lower back, chest, center of the chest, upper back, right hand palm, wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, the whole right hand. Shift your awareness to the left hand palm, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, the whole left hand. Throat, face, right cheek, left cheek, the nose, right eye, left eye, forehead, right temple, left temple, back of the head, top of the head. Now from the top of the head to the toes, take a deep breath and exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Just feel completely relaxed. Now slowly turn to the right. Slowly use your hands, close your eyes, and sit up. Do the final chant. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhave Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We wish everybody to be happy. We wish everybody to be free of illness and sorrow. We wish everybody to see only auspicious things and let there be peace everywhere. With this wonderful thought, rub your palms, generate the fire of knowledge. Cup your eyes to transmit this knowledge, to seek the blessings for the right vision, to see the things that they are, to always be joyful, to go from inefficient state to the dullness state to the excellent state. And slowly, with a bright smile at your own pace, slowly open your eyes. Ah, beautiful experience. And you guys have all become pro, right? With your concentration.
Yeah.
So any feedback, any comments?
Yeah, it's like relieving here. It's like this is an actual relaxation, like compared to what we do in reality. Rather than like sleeping, watch TV, chill out or something like that. This is like actually a feeling of relaxation.
Good. So what that means is you will be doing more yoga,
All
right?
the time.
All the
Like
time.
you said at the first, like all the time.
All the time. Virinchi?
I think, yeah, it's extremely relaxing the end. Where, like, we had to relax each body for almost fell asleep. So yeah.
So maybe that's what we needed.
More sleep.
More sleep and more, not only the sleep, but the sleep is like we're all doing the sleep, but relaxation of each and every part. Only when we relax each and every part, that's when we are completely rested. Because we are all sleeping every day. We go to the bed, but are we resting? Are we resting our mind? Are we resting our body? So this progressive relaxation allows us to connect to each and every body. We are making an intention. We're saying like in the toes. Toes are whose toes are ours? Toes are ours, right?
Yeah.
Don't we need to rest them? Yeah, we need to love them, right?
Yeah.
More than a donut.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to gently, when you're going to the bed, it is like toes, please rest. Knees, just rest. Shin, please rest. Right? Otherwise, most of the time, we don't even take care of our own parts. And we're always looking for something else. So that's one of the, before going to the bed, we can actually just spend 10 minutes and then with fiancé, You know what pyar se means? Yeah, with love. Who should we love the most? First, our body and hearts. Don't you think? And we want somebody else to love us more. First, the toes are always saying like, hello, Shaurya, please, rest me, right? So what we're going to do from today onwards, before going to bed, we're going to go scan each and every body part of ours, and then pyar se. So please take rest. Please take rest. And then we're going to sleep. And then even our mind needs more of this stuff. It's like, okay, please, right? Be restful, right? But this is how we create well-being within ourselves, right? Take control of our own body, our own parts, from the toes to the top of the head. Gently put them to process. What we have done is, through the asana practice, we stretch each and every body part from inside out. Not only the external things, the kidneys, the lungs, and the veins, and everything. We worked everything inside out. And then we worked on our own relaxation. So that's when we worked out, but we also put them into rest. Now we worked on a total well-being of the body and the mind. Now from this well-being state, we have to go then operate in the world. So we're going to extend this well-being to the other people that we interact with. What happens in the world is, we try to engage in the outer world to seek our well-being. We want to watch a movie to feel good. We need to eat something to feel good. But the yoga is the other way around. We create the well-being within ourselves, and then we go share it with the rest of the world. Right? That's the yoga process. Should we all take a quick break? And then I don't know how we are doing our time. So how about we take about 10-minute break, and then we'll do about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. How about that? Yeah. How about it? Any feedback or questions from online? Who do we have online, or did we lose that? Huh?
I think Monica said that he's coming back.
Oh.
He'll be in 30 minutes.
Ramakan. I see. So, did Satyagar leave?
Yeah, she said we'll have to drop off, see you all tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. So how about we take a 10-minute break, but is there any feedback? Is there anything new that we learned today from the previous camp? From the kids who have been here?
I know something.
Yeah.
How the 5 fingers represent 5 different states.
The pinky. We have to go from the pinky to the thumb, the master. Right? What is this finger, Shaurya? Disturbed mind. And what is this? Dull mind. Distracted. All right. What is this? The pointed, one pointed, the focus.
Focus, yeah.
And then this is the ultimate, right? What is it in Italian? What is this called? Affare. This is the affare mind. So we can basically go create whatever the emotion that we want. If we want to be sad, it has to be our own choosing, not because of somebody else. My mom said, my dad said, no, you don't give them that much power. Don't give anybody any power. But actually, you know what? Ultimately, when we come back and do it, yoga allows people to gain control over this entire nature. We can actually, we build enough capacity with the harness and the power of the mind, we can go create anything that we want. You know, I was reading the story about Roger Federer. How many of you know Roger Federer? The tennis dude.
The best, yeah.
Right? One of the biggest tennis champions, right? Apparently what he was saying, the way he's being trained every day, I mean, he's not told that it's yoga, but when he gets onto the court, for him, there is no Roger Federer. He doesn't know about his own existence. He doesn't even see the people. He only sees the ball and the bat. That's the level of one-pointedness in a master. And no wonder he achieved. And the best part is, all of that Roger Federer capabilities is there within all of us. You just have to shed these 3 and then always be like this. So how about we'll do quick break and then I'll be right back. Do we all want to go quickly tour outside? Anybody wants to do zip line?
I'll do this one.
Huh?
Am I too heavy?
No, that's okay. That is yoga actually, right? Should we do zip line? Outside, let's actually enjoy the weather.
Is there a weight limit?
Huh?
Is there a weight limit?
Okay, let's first all the kids go and then you go. So that if it breaks, everybody gets a turn.
I'm still really young.
No, I don't think it's has an how are you what 200, 180?
I'm like 195.
195? Yeah. You're a very smart man. What is your mom worried about?
Worrying about what?
Your mom is like, this guy is like, just, like,
So what?
no, you were like, no, what your mom basically says is like, he's apparently you're like a self-made man completely. That's what she says.
Because?
Yeah, you're a self-made man. But the thing is, what do you want to become?
17.
You want to
myself.
become, you're 70
Yeah.
and you want to become a liar and a finance guru or something?
I want to be a lawyer.
You want to be a liar? I see. Why?
I have to